Hello, this is a lecture on the first part of Lesson 3-3 in your Math 104 textbook. Here we're going to talk about adding and subtracting polynomials. This material will feel very familiar because it is essentially a repeat of things we did way back in Lesson 1-2 early in the semester. As a matter of fact, if you look at the first page in your textbook, page 133, you'll see that the table telling us about like terms and unlike terms is repeated. And that's really all we're going to do. We're going to combine like terms. And that's all we need to do when we add polynomials. When we subtract polynomials, we'll see that we need to deal with the subtraction. Once we've dealt with it, then we can combine like terms. So let's take a look at the examples on page 134. I will start with number 1, which says 2x minus 6 plus 4x plus 6. And since this is addition, all we need to do is combine the like terms. So 2x and 4x are like. That gives us a total of 6x. Negative 6 and plus 6 is 0. So you can write that. We could write plus 0, or we could just simply write 6x. Either one would work. Number 2 is very similar. In number 2, we have 2x to the third power plus 4x squared minus 3x plus 6 plus, and we have 5x to the third minus 8x squared plus 5x minus 2. And again, since we're adding the two polynomials, and we can see that from the addition here in between them, we just need to combine the like terms. So this is going to end up being equal to 7x to the third minus 4x squared plus 2x plus 4. We combine the 2x cubed and the 5x cubed to get 7x cubed. We had to combine the 4x squared and the negative 8x squared to get negative 4x squared. We combine the negative 3x and the 5x to get 2x, and the 6 and negative 2 make 4. Number 3, we finally see some subtraction here, and we're going to have 2x minus 6 minus 4x plus 6. And what we need to do is remember in this case that there's really a 1 in front of that second set of parentheses. So we're really saying minus 1 times 4x plus 6. So we can rewrite this as 2x minus 6. The first polynomial does not change. But then we distribute. Minus 1 times 4x is minus 4x. Minus 1 times a plus 6 is minus 6. So we convert that minus into a minus 1. We distribute it into the second polynomial. That allows us to get rid of the parentheses, and then we can combine our like terms. In this case, we end up with negative 2x minus 12 when we combine 2x and negative 4x, and then we combine negative 6 and negative 6. For number 4, I'm going to do it as if it was a subtraction problem instead of the addition that they show. I don't think there's quite enough subtraction problems in this set, so I'm going to make one here and get this written down. So again, remembering that there's really a 1 in front of the second set of parentheses, telling us we need to do some distribution there. We're going to end up with 2x1 plus 4x sub 2 plus 6 minus 3x sub 1 minus 4x sub 2 and minus 10. In other words, we're subtracting everything that's inside those parentheses. When we combine our like terms, now the parentheses are gone, we will end up with minus x sub 1, or minus 1x sub 1 if you prefer, 0x sub 2, and you could write plus 0x sub 2 if you want. I'll do that here. And then we'll have a minus 4. You could also just simply write that as minus x sub 1 minus 4. It'll work either way. For number 5, you have 3x minus 2 plus a minus 3x plus 2. And something curious happens here. When we combine the 3x and the negative 3x, we get 0x. When we combine the negative 2 and the plus 2, we get 0. So we get 0x plus 0, which we could also write more simply as just 0. All right, the last set that we have here is going to include the same two polynomials, but we're going to add once. So 4x squared plus 10x minus 3 plus 6x squared minus 5x plus 9. And when we combine like terms, we're going to get 10x squared, we're going to get plus 5x, and we're going to get a plus 6. If we repeat and use the same two polynomials but do it as a subtraction instead, we need to remember that there really is a minus 1 in front of that second polynomial. So this is the same thing as 4x squared plus 10x minus 3 minus 6x squared now plus 5x minus 1 times a negative 5x is a plus 5x minus 9. And if we combine our like terms, we're going to end up with a negative 2x squared now. We're going to end up with a plus 15x, and we're going to end up with a minus 12. So our results, even though we're using the same two polynomials, are quite different. Hopefully this looks familiar. Hopefully you remember doing this kind of work earlier in the semester. And if you have questions, let me know.